Aleppo. I wanted to leave you some feedback on your rough draft, your week 2 writing assignment. I'm finding that if I leave your document in Blackboard when you submit it as a PDF, uh, it's not fuzzy, right? So for some reason, when I download PDFs and look at them in isolation outside of Blackboard, when I upload the video to YouTube, the text comes out super fuzzy. So far it's been working if I do it this way, but if this video does not turn out, uh, if you can't see your text and follow what I'm talking about, let me know so I can figure out something else. All right. Um, I think you got a lot of good things to work with. So you're primarily focusing on like your future self, right? The self that you want to be, particularly for your family. Um, and I think that's good, right? That's one of the things that I had you potentially write about and think about in the initial draft. There's a couple of things that I want you to focus on for your next draft. First off, it's capturing place and rich detail. So you mentioned Iwa Beach, and I hope I'm probably not pronouncing that right, in Hawaii, and you describe it as a naval base and a safe place to raise your children. So you're doing a good job of kind of capturing that initial place. But I want you to continue to build this, right? Continue to build it in that rich detail, right? So, like we talked about in class with the descriptive writing, get in there and really build it. And one of the things that I love is you're like recognizing that even though like it's modern, it's safe, you enjoy it, there's going to be that something lacking, and that is that you can't fully teach your children their culture or get them to learn their language, which is why you value in the future living in Samoa. So maybe one of the things that you want to do in this draft is kind of like balance these two places. Does that make sense? So it's capturing, I think, this place also in rich detail. And you keep talking about, right, like culture and cultural lessons and how important that is. But the reader doesn't get a good sense really of the culture, right? Of the American Samoa culture. So if you could dig into that and really bring that out in descriptive detail so the reader can understand why the naval community would be adequate but really not rich enough for what you specifically are looking for, right? It would keep your kids safe, but they'd be disconnected from their culture and from their heritage in a way that you find, you know, um, unsatisfactory, right? And I think that you should feel that way. So the other thing that I want you to perhaps think about is a clear narrative arc. And you know what? I think I just realized something that would work really well. Maybe your arc in this story is you recognizing that the naval base that you grew up on was safe, it was happy, it was enjoyable, but it's you recognizing what it's missing, right? Which is connection to your culture, right? That so what the sense that I get from what you're saying here is like it's very Americanized, right? You don't say that directly, but I'm kind of getting the sense that that's what you're talking about. So does that make sense? Like maybe this narrative is really about you coming to realize that as a young person and recognizing, like I said before, that it's adequate, but it's not going to be enough for you in order to really teach your children to be connected to place, to be connected to their culture, right? Does that make sense? So I think that that would be an amazing arc to have, and that will allow you to draw out those descriptive details and get that clear beginning and the middle and the end, right? And capture place in rich detail. Mm-hmm. So that's my reaction, and I think that would give you enough to work with. And actually, the more I talk about this, the more excited I'm getting. So I hope I'm not pushing you in a direction that you don't want to go in. But remember, what we want to think about is finding that narrative arc in the draft, and to me, that's where it is. So let me know if you have questions, and I really look forward to seeing where you take this.